What's the number one reason potential employees should work for your landscaping company instead of going and working at some other landscaping company in town, or not working at all, or working at some other company in town? That's the most important question you must answer in all of your recruiting if you want to fill those hard to fill positions. And in today's episode, we're going to share the 10 tips for the landscaper's ultimate online recruiting plan.
We weren't getting the leads that I knew we could. We weren't getting the right leads.
What started happening is that our leads are more qualified.
Our sales have probably gone up by about 10 to 15% a year.
We're going to increase our sales volume by $1 million in a year.
Hey everyone, it's Jack Jostes, and welcome to the Landscaper's Guide to Modern Sales and Marketing podcast. This show is all about helping you grow your business through sales, marketing, and in today's episode, recruiting. I recently gave a live webinar about how to use digital marketing for recruiting, and here are the top 10 tactics that you can implement to start attracting better qualified employees to your landscaping company. So here are 10 tips for the landscaper's ultimate online digital recruiting plan. So the first one again is to sell me on why I should work for you instead of someone else. This could be called a unique recruiting proposition or a unique employment proposition. So many of you have a unique selling proposition, a reason that customers should buy from you, but what's the reason that people should choose to work for you over somebody else? You need to get really clear on that. And ask your team. Maybe you have some people who are on your team that have worked with you for years, and record a video with them. One of the things that I love about this tripod is that I can set it up in just seconds here. You can set this up and boom, let's say you're at a job site or you're at your office and you have employees, ask people, especially managers or people who are strung out, they're feeling overworked, say, hey, I hear you. Could you help me do something? I'd like to record a video interview with you to put on our social media and recruiting to help find great people. You put your camera on here, we'll send you this guide. And ask people and be descriptive as possible. Make sure that every benefit, every perk. As an example, I had a client who every spring they had a spring kickoff event. And at that spring, you know what they did? They paid people a return bonus. So if they came back after the winter to the next season, that's when they got their bonus. And she has very high retention. The other thing that they do is they buy people boots and like work pants. They buy people basic stuff because they know that they really need it for that year. The other thing that does is now their crews are arriving on job sites wearing newer looking clothing. They look professional and they start the year feeling good. They've got some fresh clothes, fresh boots, and they just got a bonus. So they're inspired before they get back into the full swing of things. The next thing you need to do is demonstrate your cool culture. So if you have a cool culture, you've got to take photos. I have a client out in they're in Cleveland, Ohio, MVP Snow and Lawn. And here they are. They had a pig roast. They roast a pig and they have this giant Jenga board. They've got all of their team here wearing their hats and their branded shirts. And I'm like, hey, you're having this cool party, hire a professional photographer. And they did. And look at these amazing photos. This looks like a place where you would want to belong, right? If you were like, you know what, I'm not really happy in my career. I want to work somewhere. I want to be a part of something. This photo creates that fear of missing out. Like, it looks like fun. Are they having a pig roast every day? No, they do it once a year, but it's a key thing. And now they're capturing it with photo and video content, and they're putting it on their careers page, on their job ads. And then when their crews are referring people, they're seeing people they know in these photos, right? This photograph is really powerful. Another key thing is to have a careers page on your website. So a careers page can, again, sell people on the vision of the company, on the perks, on the benefits, on the career path. And, it can really help people actually apply to specific jobs. So here is one for Techscapes Nursery and Landscape. We've got team photos. They're wearing their branded apparel. They're talking about their expectations of the landscapers. They're talking about their goals. And then they have a form where you can apply online. They show their vehicles, right? So all of these things make it look really professional. So if I'm thinking of working for you and a competitor, I'm kind of thinking, well, which one has more opportunity for me? Which one's going to have a better flow of work? Which one's not going to have their equipment break down on job sites and I'm going to be out of work for a week while they repair it? Okay, the company that looks more professional probably has more budget to take care of those things, right? And then they have an invitation to apply. And what's amazing about this is I've worked with companies who have been around for over 60 years, like the McGinty brothers in Longview, Illinois, pretty close to where I grew up. And they shared that in the last 2 weeks, since posting their new website, publishing this careers page, they had more responses than they had in the last 5 years. Field labor can be hard to find, and so on. Anyway, so they go on and explain it that since launching the new website, they've had a huge uptick of people calling and saying, hey, I applied because I saw this on your website. And they've found truck drivers, they've found laborers, they've found lawn care technicians, they've found skilled and unskilled labor, all different types of things. People are looking online. The fourth thing you want to do is have an easy to fill out form on your website. So that way people can apply on your website. Don't be like that weird company I mentioned that makes you fax a resume. Don't make me fax anything. And again, remember, I'm probably going to be filling this out on a smartphone. So here's an example of one of our tree care clients. When you click on their website, you'll notice right up in the header on their website, it says we're hiring. So that makes it really obvious. It does a couple things. One, it lets their clients know, okay, this is a successful company that's growing. So that helps in that standpoint. Two, people are curious and click on it. It makes it really easy. Then once you get to their careers page, you can scroll through it. You can see they have these amazing action shots of up in the trees. They've got their Instagram feed on there. And one of the things that I love about their website is that it disqualifies people. So in order to work there, you need to have a driver's license. And if you don't, if you check no, you actually can't fill out the rest of that job application form. So that'll eliminate and prevent most of the people who are just out there checking the box that they applied for a job when they're not really qualified at all for it. And it'll weed them out. And then if the answer is yes, you can see that it then asks questions about chainsaw experience, plant knowledge, certifications. And that way, let's say somebody fills it out. Yes, I have a driver's license. I have chainsaw experience. I'm ISA certified. Okay, I'm going to call that person first over the other company that has other applicant who has no chainsaw experience and isn't certified, right? You can build this in a way that it automates and assists in the filtering that you need to do, because in recruiting, it's a lot like selling. You need to get a lot of people applying, a lot of people aware of it to come through the funnel, and you're kind of like eliminating people so that way you're ultimately interviewing people who are qualified, and then spending time and offering a position to hopefully to one of them. So that's one of the ways that your careers page can actually automate a lot of that for you pretty simply. Here's what one of the people wrote when they applied for that tree care company. I love your organization's philosophy on caring for employees and understanding the importance of urban forestry for the health and well-being of the community. And they go on to explain their background in urban forestry, arboriculture, and how they want to work somewhere with high standards that's reliable and that's safe and professional. Wow. Okay. So what an amazing lead they got through their website. So do you think this person did their research? How would they know that this company that they care for their employees and that they value safety and all these things? They've read the whole website, right? So writing about this, getting the leads and getting people to fill it out is going to help you get really qualified leads. But if you don't have this, you're going to get less qualified leads. The fifth thing you need to do is include photos of your team, of your vehicles, and of your portfolio. So if you're a landscape design company, you should share some inspiring project photos on your careers page. If you have a staff, I want to see a photo of them in uniform, ideally professional photos. And if you can't schedule that, and in addition to that, I recommend, again, taking photos on smartphones is great, especially when you use a tripod. Showing these shots of clean vehicles, it just establishes your brand as a top dog, as a top employer, and you're going to attract higher quality people. So let me ask you this. If you had to close your landscaping company and, I don't know, go get a job, would you want to work for some loser with negative reviews and a terrible website? Or would you rather work for the company I just showed you? Blue River Forestry and Tree Care, 5-star rated company all over Google, Facebook, everywhere that they can get reviews. They have a robust careers page. There's a video of employees talking about how great it is to work there. Where would you apply first, right? Put yourself in the shoes of your potential employee. They know that it's an employee's market. They know that they can pick and choose where they're going to work. And that's why so much of this selling happens online in that research phase before you even get the opportunity to talk to them. So absolutely have a video featuring the owner and employee testimonials. Employee testimonials can be shot in a number of ways. You could schedule an interview. We do recruiting videos for people where we interview people over Zoom and we record it and edit it together. Sometimes we send people do-it-yourself video kit. Sometimes you could hire a local video pro, or you can use some basic equipment and shoot some on your smartphone. The next thing you're going to want to do is add a "We're hiring" button to the header of your website. And this should link to your careers page. The header of your website, the top of your website, is really critical that it generates leads in a way that's really easy. And if you're hiring, if that's a priority, B, make it easy for people to click for hiring. That's going to help people because a lot of people are going to be looking, if they want to get a landscaping job, they might look for landscaping jobs in whatever town, or they just might look for landscaping companies, and they're on your website, and you make it real easy for them to click on that and get it. So the next thing you want to do is promote your posts for your jobs on social media and ask your employees to share. So the way this works, and I do this all the time, by the way, I'm hiring right now. If you check out ramblinjackson.com/careers, we have employees all over the country. If you know someone who would be a great fit for my company, who's a digital marketing professional, I'd love it if you shared it with them, right? See how I'm doing that? ramblinjackson.com/careers, right? I'm giving you something that you can share. So when you do that, and then you email out your staff, hey everyone, we posted this ad on Facebook or LinkedIn, and you send them the link to that post, and you get a bunch of employees commenting on it. If you look at our careers page, you'll see that I asked my staff to do this, and our current account manager posted a comment that was like, hey, this is a great company to work for because, and it's like, wow, forget whatever Jack, the CEO, is saying. I have proof now from my whole staff endorsing this, and I can tell you we're getting really great people filling that out. So asking people to share it because they often know people who could be employees of your company. And when you do that on social media, it really looks great. And here's some examples. One was this trim landscaping company that posted a photo where they're doing, a cool lawn maintenance next to this amazing lake on a beautiful day, and there are daffodils in bloom. It's just a great photo. And they say, riding along, soaking up the sun, taking in the view, sound fun? Email your resume to info@trimlandscaping.ca. I don't even know them. We just found that. there's another company who posted a photo of their crew. They're all smiling. They're wearing their protective, they're wearing their work uniforms. They're looking good, and they mentioned that they're hiring, and so you can just get some examples of that. The ninth tactic here is to gain positive online reviews on Google, Glassdoor, and Indeed. The reason is, again, answering that question, if you had to go get a job in the green industry, would you want to work for a loser or would you want to work for a winner? Your employees are Googling you, they're looking at your reviews, and your Google reviews absolutely impact recruiting, your Glassdoor and Indeed. So if you're posting jobs on Indeed and you have a negative review average, like, what are you, a schmuck? Right? Like, I'll have to share that I did that. You know what happened? I got one review one time. It was negative. And I had one, because I only had one review, I was now a 1-star company. And so a lot of businesses are unaware that your employees can write reviews on Glassdoor and Indeed. So what you want to do is create your accounts there and then reach out to your employees, the people who have worked for you for a while, who care, and ask them. You're probably going to need to ask them often to write those reviews. And then once you have 4, 5, 6, hopefully 10 positive reviews, when you get the inevitable negative review, it's outweighed by the positive ones. And you've got a mostly positive review average, where if you only have one review and it's negative, you look like a loser. No one's going to apply for you. The 10th tactic is to brand your training program. So at Ramblin' Jackson, we actually have Ramblin' Jackson University, where we're producing online training content. And we build it in an online training program called Lessonly, where our Ramblers can go through an online training program. So when I'm onboarding people, it's like, boom, I enroll them in this thing and they quickly learn a lot of the skills kind of at their own pace. So that way, the time that I spend with them and my managers spend with them is more of a coaching relationship. And another client of mine who's done this is Pleasant Landscapes, and they have Pleasant Landscapes University. A lot of people want to know that, hey, you know what? I don't have a lot of skill right now, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to work hard, and I want to work somewhere where I can grow not only my skill, but also my income. And when you show people that you have a career path and that you have a training program and you brand it and you put your logo on it, they're going to be like, this company doesn't mention career path. They don't really mention any perks or benefits. They just mention how hard the job is. Okay, this company, the job looks just as hard, but there's this upside of these perks, these benefits. There's photos and videos of people working there, enjoying it, and they have this career path with this training program for me. I see my future here. I'm going to go and try and work there, right? So when you do this, it makes it a lot easier to get people. And the cool thing is that when you implement these 10 tactics with your digital marketing, it'll complement other marketing that you're doing. Because I have a client who said that radio advertising actually really helped them. And guess what? They have this branded training university. So people, regardless if it's a referral, maybe they're looking directly online, maybe they hear about it through a friend or a current employee of yours, maybe they find the job on Craigslist or Indeed or wherever you're posting it on LinkedIn. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to lead to them researching you, Googling you, and all of this stuff will assist whatever type of recruiting advertising you're doing. So what do you do for your team? You know, like I mentioned, we have a client who provides work boots. They provide meals on a certain day of the week. And, you know, they actually offer their employees money for coming back. And so think about what can you do to take care of people, and how can you capture that with social media, with photos and videos, so you inspire people about that aspect of your culture. So here are some of the key takeaways. The first one is that recruiting is absolutely a sales and marketing activity. You are selling against your competition, and your competition in this case is not only other landscape companies, but also not working or other industries. And that's why you need to sell people on why they should work for you. And you're not going to be a fit for everyone. So you want to get clear on who is your best employee and how can you attract more of those people. And remember that most people are going to apply to this on their smartphone. Maybe you're doing TV advertising. TV drives the most branded searches on smartphones. Branded searches are when people pick up their phone and they Google your brand after seeing an advertisement. So regardless of the type of marketing tactics that you're doing, your people are going to interact with your brand and your job listings on their smartphone. And so make sure that you test all of it on your phone and make sure that it's mobile friendly. Show people your company culture through your photos and videos. And remember that each and every job offer, letter, every advertisement you make must answer, why should I work for you instead of anywhere else in town? Thanks so much for checking out today's video. I'd love to see you at our next live or virtual event. So check out ramblinjackson.com/events and see the show notes for a link to that page where you can see all of our upcoming events. And I want to know what works for you with recruiting. Post a comment below to help share with the industry what's working.